Hello, everybody. My name is Leah Granger, and welcome to Curtain Call, a live interview series on Instagram Live with powerful women in the arts, presented by FabCollab and supported by Canadian Heritage. We have a lot of amazing women on this show, and this episode is no different. We're going to be speaking with an incredible dancer in the Toronto dance community. She practices in a lot of different disciplines. She's worked on a lot of different projects, and I've been lucky to be able to be on a couple of those projects with her and to be able to bring her into the fold here at Fab Collab and performing at some of our events. I'm gonna just get her on board here. Here we go. Um, and I think she's gonna pop up here right now. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Good.
How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad this worked.
Yes.
It's always nice to have somebody Instagram literate. Yay. So how are you doing? Are you speaking to us from here in Toronto?
Yes, I'm currently still in Toronto right now.
Amazing. Well, I wanted to I first saw you perform at Toronto Dance Theatre's, what was it called?
Short and sweet.
Short and Sweet. Exactly. I remember this yesterday, and that was Short and Sweet. So I only got to see you. There was an event where everybody danced for just a few minutes. But yeah, like that was enough where I was like, wow, who is this person? So it was awesome to be able to have you at our Women in Song last year and to adapt to that. So I wanted to learn more about sort of the background of your practice because you're such a unique dancer. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into dance? Like, was this something that you always knew you wanted to do? Like, were you a kid that was in dance, or did it come to you later on?
So I basically grew up in dance, so it was already there.
Okay.
I have a huge family. I have a lot of siblings. I have a lot of cousins, so they were already like dancing before. And I started dance when I was 5. I did the whole like studio, did like ballet, jazz, and I went to I did like competitive dance, so it was like
Oh, wow.
active. It was already there for me, and I kept going with the competition, and then eventually I kept out of all like my cousins, I was one that kept going, considering doing it more professional. So from there, I decided to go to university. So I studied at it's now called Toronto Metropolitan University. At the time, it was Ryerson. So
Yes.
I did their dance program there.
How was that dance program?
It was
like, how was your experience there?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
four-year program, basically like morning, first year we had ballet classes at 8 a.m. and at the time I was like commuting from Saga, so it was a very full day. So we would have like classes in the morning, afternoon, or evening, and yeah, towards like third and fourth year, there's like more involvement with rehearsal, so you're basically in the studio like the entire day. So it was very intense.
Wow.
I learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since like I graduated from that program, but there's like still so many things that I like to learn from there that I still apply to my dance today, even though right now my in street dance. So
Wow. So and like, what did you have a sense of what kind of dancer you wanted to be? Like, what sort of practice you wanted to have, or at that time, or were you sort of just taking it all in? Like, were you imagining jazz or ballet or something else?
Yeah, at the time, I think I was just like taking it all in. I thought since even before I went to Ryerson, I was more the classically dancer, so I thought, okay, I'll probably be just doing like ballet or contemporary modern because that's what I'm good at. But like, and that is still very much there, even within lacking right now. So I didn't really know what I would be doing for graduation. I thought it would just be in that direction, but then it went other ways. So how I industry
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So how I got into dance though is like I think after a bit after like graduated, I felt a little bit stuck in my dance. I just wanted a little bit of a change. So then I just started taking like a locking class at Underground Dance Center for fun, right?
Mhm.
And that was kind of like the first street dance that kind of broke the ice for me. That kind of led me into like other ones like today.
So there was none of that in school? Like it wasn't something that was touched upon or?
Not really. There was I think occasionally they have like a get guest teachers for to teach like hip hop, but it was just like every
Mhm.
now, but like the core of it is like modern, jazz, ballet, improv.
There was never like, what about like flamenco or like Indian or these like cultural, these dances from other countries? Was there any of that? I'm just curious about these programs. I guess they focus more on these sort of like classical
Yeah,
training.
it was mostly classical, like yeah.
Okay.
I think I don't really remember. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
I didn't.
yeah. So like
Okay. Yeah.
so you were like at so you took this class and did it really how old were you when you took that
I was
class?
like 24.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 24, so it was like yeah.
You're like, I won't say how many years ago.
Yeah. Well, it was oh, I really not a lot ago. It was somewhere in my mid early 20s.
Okay.
Somewhere in my mid early 20s. I just decided to try a new style for fun. Like yeah.
And how did you like feel when you were doing it? Like, was it different
Oh,
than their forms?
so different because I guess in classical dance we're like so used to being like upright and like
Hmm.
and taking it was a locking class. It wasn't even locking at the time. It was a locking class.
Yeah.
Everything is just like very, very loose and like it was a style that I knew would be good for me. So I
Hmm.
think that's I challenged myself because it's so different. So I think that's why it was fun. Like I felt so silly in the beginning, and I know like for anybody trying, don't want to go, they don't want to do that all over again of like feeling like a beginner. But I think if I didn't like have like developed where I am today, being able to have a more
That's amazing. And so like how did you like grow into other forms? Like was it just more classes or were you meeting the
it was
community?
meeting the community. Sure. I think like the taking the class was kind of like the step in because like you don't really know until you start like meeting people with people. So yeah, that was so I started taking that class and so the teacher was her name's like Lady C. She's an international street dancer. So she does other styles as well. So I also took house class from her and so it was through like joining like those kinds of programs that like I met other people. I also really liked her teaching style as well. So that was something that also like inspired me because I feel like she was really good at breaking things down and explaining things so that these street dances didn't feel as intimidating for me as someone coming from a completely different background. So yeah, me eventually finding whacking was definitely through like community. And I think if I didn't really make friends in the community, I probably wouldn't have tried.
So how did that
uh,
happen? Like did you just meet people in class or how did you develop those
it was
relationships?
it was through friends. So like actually my first like experience like even like seeing it in the city, I was like so intimidated by it.
Why? Where was
It
it?
was like um I was at like it was a fundraiser for like a fundraiser for a show. It was in Toronto, and I think this was probably around the same time that I started locking classes. It was an exhibition battle with like two people who I call my mentors today. So it was Ashley Perez versus Emily Law, and I didn't really know them at the time, but it was very and it was really cool. Like it was very intense, very cool. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I wish I could do that. I don't know if it's for me. And
Where
then like
was
it
it?
was
Like,
where it was. It was somewhere in Toronto.
but
Yeah.
was it at like like what sort of venues are these competitions at?
This one, it was more, it felt from what I remember, I think the venue was more of like an underground. It was a very like casual underground venue. It wasn't the event wasn't like a battle. It was just like yeah, it was just a fundraiser. So they had like different showcases and performances, and then the exhibition another just like feature to like show that.
Are these
Yes,
these things that like the public can just go to? Like,
I think because of now because of like social media, like advertising for these things is more like it's easier to like know about these things and like invite this at the time. This was like before, I think this was probably like before Instagram was like utilized.
Yeah.
Just through word of mouth. Yeah.
Wow. So it's, and like what happens at these like these sort of events? I just don't know about this world of dance. It's probably interesting for other people too.
So events and kind of like battles or just like
yeah.
So so if it's like a battle, so there's like different. I guess it depends what kind of style battle is. So if it was like a whacking specific battle, then that is the overall style. Because we also have all styles battles, so just like any street dance style, it's open to whatever, and like the music are different. So usually what they do is that they have a slam, so anybody can enter. So sometimes they cap it, sometimes they don't. They usually cut it down to a top 16 because that's like a very even bracket, and then it's like a regular bracket all the way there.
Wow.
Usually they do like rounds for like 30 to 45-second rounds, depending on the organizer. So just like one at a time or rounds like back and forth. And then there's a judge, and then they go through this.
Oh, there's a judge? Oh my God. Okay, and then like you win in advance?
Right? Yeah, you go through the bracket like that. So like if you win, then you move forward, and then you face the next person for the top 8, and then it just keeps going like that until you're to like the final 2, and then that's your finals.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's so crazy because like I don't know, I've never been in like I can't think of any other sort of like dance event that just structured that way. That's so cool.
That have been kind of on a pause, like because of the pandemic, but like especially now they're starting to come back. More so in like all styles and like house and popping. Like with whacking, I think it's like slowly making its way back right now for battles. But in terms of like performances and other events, like whacking, really, like that's been going for the past year. Maybe even for me, it's been a while since I battled wacky. So yeah.
So like that was the first time that you saw it, sort of.
That was the first time I saw it. It wasn't even like a full battle. It was just an exhibition. So usually for exhibition showcases, it's just like go back and forth. There's like no winner. But that was like first time like really seeing it. And then it wasn't until like years later that actually I was at a battle. It's called a Parks and Rec. It happens like outdoors, like around like the fall time, and I was like a street dance event, and like they usually have a whacking category, sometimes like house popping, and they had like before the event they had like just like free open classes. So Colors, one of the people that I saw doing exhibition battle on that first event I mentioned. So she was with a teacher, technically my first teacher, and then I tried to add this like at this event, and then from there I was encouraged by like other friends to do it more. So I joined like sessions. We were running they call it mini battles, so just like very like kind of same idea but very casual, just in like a studio. Kind of same idea from practice instead of just like straight into a battle. So that's how I got involved into the community, got to meet more people.
How did it strike you, like when you first saw it? Like what was appealing about it to you?
It's just like the like their character. The of it is just like how they could feel so powerful by just like posing, especially by like the other person. So there's also Emily Law. So Emily Law, she also has a similar background to me. So she is also like a modern contemporary dancer, And I think that was another reason I felt that like I could do it too, because she has a similar background to me, and then she's like selling and lacking, so I'm like, oh. But like I like with her, what stuck out with me is just like the way that she like posed, and just very striking. So that was my like wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, because I guess coming from like a technical background, like what was like wow is all like the legs, kicks, turns kind of thing. But I guess seeing someone just strike a pose and have was like, yeah, that was what struck me. Yeah.
That's so cool. And so like how would you describe this dance to other people? Like to people who haven't seen it and don't really know what it is. Like how, how is it distinct from like house or like these other sorts of or forms that would be in these sort of like battle environments?
Yeah, so like whacking, it's like the movement is characterized by a lot of like to whack means to strike with force. So that's why there's like a lot of arms. It's not just about like the roles. There's a lot of like drama, character, emotion, and like the history of it. Like it comes from like that, like that's why it's a very expressive dance.
Sorry, where did it come from?
It was created in the disco era in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and it was created in like the queer club. So it was a very underground style created by queer men of, and it was like their express. It was their form of expression from oppression, because like society was not nice to them. It wasn't safe. So the clubs were there like safe to express, and that is where it started. And it was they were just playing. They weren't trying to like a new dance style. I think like they're just playing, and then it eventually became a dance. And actually, the original style is actually called punking. And so
Punking?
Yeah, so punking is the essence. Punking is the essence of the style. Whacking and posing are elements within punking. So punking is like the umbrella. Whacking are elements within it, and the whacking evolution.
Okay. That's super interesting. Yeah, it's interesting, like the way that you learn these different dance forms, that like some are like so formalized and then others are just not at all. And it's like, what is the education system, to like come from the outside and sort of like learn those things? Like for this, I guess, is it just like finding these teachers and finding these classes?
Yes. And also, I guess trying to like do your research and try to get as close to the source as possible. Especially with like dance styles, and like I can speak for whacking. It's just like there's a lot of misinformation as these aren't properly done. So there's a lot of like, yeah. so even right now, we're still learning more about the style. Even though it's been around for a while, there's still some things that we're uncovering, some things we have to like relearn, which is I feel like a lot of us are kind of like going like process right now, which is why like now we're starting to have more of an emphasis on the term punking, because it wasn't really talked about much or represented in a proper way due to misinformation. So,
yeah, it seems like. So how have you been able to like get close to the source sort of with this form?
So actually so it was like through my mentor Colors. She was also working with there's one original like that is still alive. There's one left, and, but I think it was like last year or like last year I started classes on Zoom. So,
oh wow!
So over the summer I joined that. So that's really as close to the source as
What's their name?
Their name is Victor Manuel.
Okay, and are they in LA?
They're in LA, but they teach on Zoom, so literally anybody can.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's so great.
Yeah, so it's really cool, just like I guess being in that environment and just not having to like second guess, like, oh, is this correct? Because like even when I started, there's like a lot of things about the style that weren't necessarily true, and a lot of stuff just felt reassuring to know that like the information was legit. And I felt, the more I felt like welcomed in the style, which was very big for me.
Yeah, totally. So what are you doing? Like, what has your practice been like, and like performing, and sort of where did you take that?
Sorry.
Like, where did you take this love and this like, and this, you know, the fact that you were pursuing this sort of like as a professional?
Mm-hmm. I think it was just like a lot of especially within the last year, I wasn't yes, I'm a professional dancer. I'm like looking for work, but a lot that have come to me was because I was just like showing my craft, basically, especially over the pandemic, because for me to be like active, like it was through like sessions, not necessarily just lacking sessions. Like I have a lot of friends like in the in all style, so just open sessions, just being creative and like sharing that. So especially during that time when there were no classes over the pandemic, like that was like something that like kept me going. And so I shared videos of that, just very chill, not really thinking that was gonna lead to anywhere. And then I think it was because of that. That's how like I guess people like found me, and then how I became part of like other people's projects, and then yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, what was I? Oh, I was just listening to a podcast, and this is like this woman who's like kind of a comedian, but also kind of an artist. And she was like, "Yeah, no, I just like published all my stuff like on the internet."
Yeah.
And then like people just like she's like she has like real jobs like in this like in that field, you know, now. But she's like, no, it was just like me just like putting everything out there all the time,
Yeah.
you know.
And
it's like people now it's like we have the opportunity where people can just find us on the internet, you know. It's pretty amazing.
Like that's like basically where a lot of my work has come from in the past year. And when I'm still trying to be very like authentic about it. I'm not like doing it on purpose. So I'm like, oh, maybe someone can book me, maybe someone can book me. I'm trying to myself that this is just me, like just wanting to just like share my art. And yeah, I guess people can do that.
So there's no shame in trying to get people to book you. I have to say, it's part of like, but you mean everybody? It's like up to every artist, like you know, whether they want to pursue it in that way. But you know, it's hard. It's hard. Sometimes you gotta hustle. So, tell me, there was like a project you were going to tell me about, like there's like a night or something, or like a regular event that you're involved with.
It actually kind of leads from what I was just talking about just like sharing stuff on Instagram. Yeah, so this opportunity came because I connected with someone through Instagram. So there's a Cosmic Cat, and so they follow Instagram at like probably like a year ago.
Sorry, what are they? Who are they called? What is it called?
So their name is Cosmic Cat. So they're a DJ.
Cosmic Cat. Oh, it's a person. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
You cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so they're a house DJ in the city. So like they follow me on Instagram. Through my videos, like just like sessioning at the Bentway. Because I was posting a lot of those at the time it was happening. So that I guess that's how they found me. And then started opening up around like April, March last year. So they just like with an opportunity there. So they run an event on the first Saturday of every month at the Drake, and it's open for everybody, house music, very inclusive, very like good energy, and they want to do whacking. So they just had this. I guess they just wanted me in and like I guess see what could be done. Like if they said I could do other choreography or like basically they're gonna feature some whacking. So with the environment or like to me, it felt appropriate. I guess just have like maybe more whacking and just have it more.
Sorry, your audio is really cutting out. I'm not sure. I don't know why. Just the last like couple minutes. Can you just say that one more time about what it is that you do there?
Yeah. So, wait,
Sorry.
was it cutting off?
That it's like you perform, or is it like you're facilitating like competition or what?
Yeah, so I'm facilitating like the event, and the event is called Cosmic Love. So the actors of it, so three other ones, so there's four of us in total, and freestyle performances. Very, very fluid, very casual. So the DJ kind of left it up to me for what was appropriate, because they also said I could do choreography if I wanted to. With the environment, to keep it like more open, especially with it being a club, it's very like related to how the style was created. Just kind of bringing it back to the like very open environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been running that with her since April. So
Amazing.
yeah. So the next one is actually coming up this Saturday. It's been really yeah. So it's great because we haven't had an event like this for like the whacking community, even because when I started there were sessions, classes, but so when I the style, I thought that like in order to be a whacker, I have to battle, but that is not really true.
Right.
So yeah, so I feel like right now it's like it feels like a more like easy time to kind of join the style, knowing that you don't have to battle, you can just dance, you can just party.
Yeah. You can just dance.
Yeah, you can just.
I love that.
You don't have to battle. Like even like I heard like my colors just even say that, just like even if you're by yourself in your room doing like whacking pumpkin, that is still like authentic. So
Totally. Yeah. I know. That's like sometimes it's like, especially in these conversations where I'm talking to people that are like, taking their practices really seriously. It's like also good to remember like to just dance, like we're dancing at the end of the day. And like however that looks for each individual is like, valid.
mm-hmm.
That's cool. So is that every
Yes.
The last Saturday of every month? Is that what you said?
Saturday
First Saturday.
Saturday every month. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. That's funny that you started in April, because we at Fab Club in April of last year, we started a flamenco night the first Sunday of every month. It's at Basement 254 at the like just right at the end of like college, and right at college in Lansdowne. Yeah. So that's cool that it's like been running. We've been doing it like side by side like every weekend for like the whole year. It's awesome. Yeah, and it's been really great also, like the community like sort of for whatever dance practice, I feel like needs these like regular events to like find each other and like appreciate each other's work and stuff. That's really awesome that you're doing that. I'm gonna come. I can't come this weekend because I'm gonna be out of town, but I'll come next month for sure. It's amazing.
Yeah, make it the month after. There's always the next one.
Totally. How can people like find you and find out about like what you're up to online? I assume here on Instagram.
So the best way to reach me and see what I'm up to is on Instagram, and my handle is just my name.
Amazing. I don't know. Is there any other work that you want that's coming up, or is that sort of like the focus right now, and people should sort of like come check you out there?
That is the only thing that I can say for now.
Okay.
Like
cool. I'm sure there's many things in the works, but I understand how it is, where you have to drop them at a specific time.
Yeah, as you know, it does. Just like everything just kind of, it's just sporadic, kind of comes nowhere. But that is the one thing I can think this is happening. The rest of the year, I don't know. But
well, I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you, and we can also check you out on Instagram to find out what's going on. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I really appreciate it. It's wonderful to hear from you. I've seen you dance many times, but but yeah, it's great to hear the stories behind people's dance. So thank you so much. This is Curtain Call, presented by Fab Club, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. Next week we have a week off, but in 2 weeks we'll be back with another super cool guest like Chantelle. Thank you so much.
So much for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, pleasure, and have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.